Welcome to Lesson 13, where we will be talking about customizing apps. Your warm-up prompt for your journal is, what changes would you make to this app to improve how easy it is to use? Wow, this is horrible. Okay, so yikes. Have fun answering that one. Pause the video here so you can write all of your improvement ideas in your journal. So there comes a point where our AI apps have too many features, like what you see in this example, for a single screen. In these cases, it can be useful to split up our app into multiple screens and spread out the questions that we ask users. This makes the app easier to use and makes it easier to group questions together. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how to split up our apps into multiple screens and how to update the code in our app to match the new screens. Our question of the day is, how can I customize the code for a machine learning app? Well, guess what? You're about to learn. There are no activity guides for this lesson, so just go ahead and go to level 1 on lesson 13. And we are going to look at Raspado Recommender. Raspado? I don't trust that pronunciation at all. So I'm just going to keep going with what I've been saying. Raspado. Sounds, I don't know. Okay. Now that we know how to edit our code to use new design mode elements, let's take a look at, oh, no, JK. Okay, level 1. What you're going to do, find the section of the code where the features are collected using a data variable. Some features are set up correctly with getText blocks and some are blank. Show me where. Drag out a getText block to each feature with a blank entry. Use the drop-down menu to select the appropriate design element for each feature. Run the app and verify that it works. Okie dokie. getText. No, that's setText. getText. See, these are blank. Now, what you should know between the difference of just looking at the text and looking at the blocks. So they have getText and then they have this drop down. On a computer, you can just click that drop down and you can look. Okay, it's not that easy on an iPad unless you have a mouse. Okay, so we're going to say show text and we're going to go right here and we're just going to type it in, okay? Get text, open parentheses, and now it's going to give us some options and you use the down arrow, okay? So since we're talking about the lime right now, we want to look for the lime drop down. Okay, and so that's what you're going to do for the Chile Pablo, Chile and Pablo, lechera, and coconut. All right, get text from those drop downs. Run the app and verify that it works. Did the changes you made help it to work? Okay, now go to level 2, the driver alert system. In this level, or the next series of levels, they are going to be a little bit more advanced. So if you've not finished level 1, pause it and finish it. And if you have problems with that, you need to pause the video still and reach out to me so that I can help you, okay? I will say a lot of time in the class, whenever there are problems, like whenever students run into issues, we usually just work on it together. There's usually another student that has the same issue. Sometimes I don't know the answer and we just figure it out through trial and error, but we work together. So if you have somebody that you're sitting beside that is also in this class, maybe ask them. They may have already figured out the issue. Otherwise, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you, okay? So this driver alert, we're going to help build this driver alert system that can be used by cars to help warn drivers of dangerous conditions. So go on to the next level and let's look at this. Run this app multiple times. You will see that each question is put on a separate screen rather than all on the same screen. Pay attention to what design elements are on each screen. Pause the video so that you can run through this app multiple times, okay? Now I want you to think about this. How many features does this app have? What are they? If you need to go back, then go back and look at them, okay? What is the label for this app? What are the possible outputs? Okay, well, there are 4 features: the number of cars, weather, temperature, and the time of day. And the design elements include drop-down boxes for categorical data and text boxes for numerical data. So if you looked at the model card, you could have gotten this information, okay? You should be able to identify 3 possible label values: danger, warning, and normal. This information is easier to see in the model card rather than testing the app over and over again. So, yeah, there's that. All right, moving on to level 3. In this level, click on Design Mode. Click on each element on screen 1, then press the red Delete button. Select Home Screen from the screen drop-down menu. Select the screen, then press the Make Default button. Looks like this. Run the app and verify the welcome screen loads. You should also be able to click each next arrow to continue through the screens. You won't be able to see the final screen until we adjust the code for our app in the next few levels. All right. Once you have done those things, you're literally just following the instructions on each bubble, on each level, okay? So that was level 3. All right. You heard what I was reading from the slide. Let's look at the level and you will see that it's the same. Yeah. Oh, look. It gives you the pictures. Show me how. It shows you how. All right, when you're finished, go to the next level. All right, perfect. So pause the video so you can do level 3. Now, let's move on to level 4. This is updating the code for the number of cars. In code mode, find the line of your code that matches the number of cars feature. Drag out a get text block and put it in the blank area to the right of the equal sign in the get text block. Click the drop down arrow and select cars input. We won't be able to test our code until the very end, so be sure to check your code carefully. When you are finished, continue to the next level. What's going to happen is when we get to the very end and we test our code, if something's not right, we're going to have to go back through every single one of these bubbles to make to find where we messed up. So that's why they're saying check your code now before we get to the end and you've really, really messed up. All right, so right here, it says get text. So add pair, data, cars, get text, and then we're going to say cars input. That's right there. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for each one. So get text, weather, drop down. Okay, So go ahead and finish those. And I would actually scroll down and just kind of look and see if you can tell what's going to happen when we run this app. Okay. Pause the video so you can finish level 4. Moving on to level 5, updating the code for weather. In code mode, find the line of your code that matches the weather feature. Drag out a get text block and put it in the blank area to the right of the equal sign, and then choose the weather dropdown. Oops, I already did that. When you're finished, continue to the next level. And this is updating the temperature input. So we're doing the same thing, but select temperature screen. All right. Select the temperature screen from the drop-down menu, drag out a text element to the screen, set its ID to temperature input in code mode, find the line of your code that matches the temperature feature, drag out a get text block, and put it in the blank area to the right of the equal sign. You are following the instructions that are for each level, okay? So then you move on to level 7, updating the time of day. Drag out element onto screen, set its ID to time of day dropdown. Look at the model card to see if the values are different for the time of day feature. In the options property, enter each value on a new line. Make sure each option exactly matches what it says on the model card. In code mode, find the line of your code that matches the time of day feature. Drag out get text block. When you're finished, move on to the next level. Okay. It gives you these instructions on each level, and then it also shows you how to do some of them. All right. Read the instructions and follow them. Level 8 is testing the app. Run the app several times trying different road conditions. Verify that the app still works correctly. If the app doesn't work like you expected, go back to the previous levels and double check the steps you took. See, what did I tell you? Some common places to debug are checking for typos, especially in the IDs of your elements. Checking that the drop-down menu for time of day matches the model card information. Checking that the get text blocks have the correct IDs in them. If the app is working correctly, continue to the next level where you can customize your app. Now you're going to practice customizing your app. Choose one of these that you haven't done before, or you can do them all. Because the more you practice, the easier it will get. I can promise you that, okay? Choose from the following tasks. Go ahead and finish your app, finish this level, and then come back for the journal wrap-up. What is one benefit to having features spread across multiple screens in an app? What is one drawback to having features on multiple screens in an app? Answer that in your journal, and then answer the question of the day. How can I customize the code for a machine learning app? And that's it for this lesson. Man,